All right, so we have got to talk about how protein will help you to lose fat. I've talked a little bit about this before, and there's 2 points of this I want to mention. I've mentioned one of these before. One of them is going to be new, and I want to break down one of these points too. So the first point, the one I've talked about before, which I'm going to break down for you, is that having muscle mass gives you a higher metabolism. It takes more energy to sustain muscle mass than it does fat. So the more lean body mass you have, muscle, the higher your metabolism is. So I'm going to break this down a little bit for you. So there's there's a process that we can call the muscle protein cycle. What that cycle is your muscle is always in a state of breakdown and regeneration. There's always these two processes going on, and it's sort of like a balance on a scale. If you have more breakdown than you have regeneration, you're going to be losing muscle mass. Conversely, if you have more protein regeneration than you have breakdown, then you're going to have muscle gain. So the question becomes, how do you get more muscle? Well, the first part is that the breakdown. So the reason the breakdown even happens is because your muscle gets rid of old protein and breaks it down to put in new protein. So you do want that. But the key is trying to figure out how to get more protein, how to balance those scales so you have more protein synthesis or muscle growth than you have breakdown. So there's two things you can do to do this. The first thing you can do is exercise. When you activate and work those muscles, you're opening up the pathways for your muscles to receive more protein. So working out, which you guys know I'm a huge advocate of, which you should be doing at least 3 times a week, working those muscles so that they can, the signals can be activated to receive more protein into the muscles. The other thing you can do is simply eat more protein. Eating more protein will increase muscle protein synthesis. So working out and just eating more protein will uptake your muscle protein synthesis, so you'll have a net muscle gain, so that will up your metabolism. It's also important to note that out of all the protein you eat, maybe 1 to 5% of it actually gets taken into the muscles. So the more protein you eat, even though it's still a fraction of what the overall intake is per meal, if you eat more, that fraction becomes, or that portion becomes smaller. Even though it's still a smaller portion of the overall protein, the only way to make that smaller portion larger is if you eat more protein. So how much protein should you eat? Well, the very minimum you should eat is, what we're finding out now is about if we're talking lean body mass, if we're doing our calculation, if we're subtracting out your body fat and we're just focusing on your lean body mass, it's 1.6 grams per kilogram of lean body mass. To convert that to pounds, it's going to be 0.7 grams of protein per pound of your overall body weight. They mean the exact same thing. Let me say it that way. Either 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of lean body mass. To get your lean body mass, you have to know your body fat percentage and figure that out. Or it might just be easier to do the 0.7 grams of protein per your overall body weight. So once you have that number, that is the bare minimum. That's sort of what they say. That's the sweet spot where people should be eating protein in the amount of grams per day to get these benefits of where it just helps and boosts your muscle protein synthesis. So combining that with working out will greatly increase your muscle protein synthesis, which is what you want, because you want larger, stronger muscles that will also help you to burn more calories. Now, what's the other thing? So that was the one thing. That all sums up into having more muscle that will build your metabolism. The other part of that now is just eating protein. Protein is, so everything you eat, every food you eat has a thermal effect. What does that mean? It just means it costs, I say it takes money to make money. Well, it takes energy to make energy. Everything you eat is energy. Every fat, carb, protein, everything breaks down into energy. However, your body has to literally do that work. So it literally takes energy to break those things down so that they can give you energy. Protein, that is called the thermal effect of food. Protein has the highest thermal effect of food. Fat is pretty much negligible. I don't think carbs are really high, but protein has up to 30%, and I'm assuming that's for more, that's probably going to be more for whole foods. So you want to focus on whole foods, not processed proteins, but whole foods are going to give you up to 30% a thermal effect of food. 30%. So it's basically like giving you 30% of the calories you eat is giving you back just in the process of eating that food. So eating protein is going to help you burn more calories, and it helps you build more muscle, which is going to help you burn more calories. Make sure you're eating enough protein, guys. I can't go over this enough. I'm going to be talking more about how you guys can understand fat loss and what you guys can do to conquer this. It's not easy, but I'm going to help you. All right, I'll see you on the next one.